So do you just play around like Drums of Slump for the Beastmaster, try to really pressure the game and rush through the winning?
Absolutely, that's it. All you want to do is get to that axe. I think this is a no-brainer Abaddon pick, maybe. But I'm a no-brainer, because I was wrong. And they pick Sven, and it's Tiny offlane, it seems like.
It is good. No, Medusa offlane. No. Medusa offlane.
It's Medusa offlane. So you were right.
The thing I was literally complaining about seconds ago.
I don't know if he even bought it yesterday. I think he didn't. He went Dagon E-Blade right in the end on Tinker.
The zapping fools, top lane. They might try to zap Rain here as the ET gets tossed back. There's an avalanche into the Gorgon's grasp as well. Rain is gonna die here. Will they be able to counter onto Omar? TA2000 will do his best. Wivehawk, dive bomb, and the additional right clicks will secure the kill. But it still did go the way of NIGMA Galaxy first. Noob, though, having his mana burnt away here by TA2000, but I don't think he's going to be able to chase. 14 one charges, double null tallies, he's going to be fine. You kind of do expect this, right? I'm not really anticipating anybody except for maybe GH to die, but even then, he has to be fairly out of position for that to happen. But, as I say that, they're going to go on Ghost. Pops the Warcry, but he ends up going down. He ate the fine art from the trees. 1J, what a god, what an angle to curve that spell through.
Other Titan playing against you. He's only level 3, doesn't have Echo Stomp. They're still going.
They're gonna dive under the tower. They toss him back. The ET is not right next to him, but they're still alive on TA2000. Hasn't gone down just yet. One more right click will do the trick. GH getting some permanent agi for his efforts as well. They're not bringing in any additional heroes for the Radiant lineup. Instead, it's VP that's actually rotating the Storm down bottom, so they're not going to be able to catch 1J. But with the Storm coming through, maybe one of these cores could be bring down. 1J goes in, trying to save his life with the Inkswell. Not going to happen. He dies too quickly, and it seems like the rest of his team not really inclined to risk their lives to save him.
Smoke.
It's a 3-hero smoke. They're going to come across these two supports who are going to break the smoke. Omar is the one on the high ground. Very nice avalanche there. There's the global silence coming in as well. Where's the follow-up, though, from the rest of NIGMA? VP. Oh, my goodness. Two heroes caught inside the Meteor Hammer. Laranov falling so low. He needs to get out of here. He's still silent stop plays, so he just goes down. They lost Omar in the process, but hashtag worth. Noob. They're not connected to Gorgon's grasp onto the Hawk. The Centaur is still able to juke around this area, but here comes Ghost from the other side. Stormhammer, God straight going in. The Centaur losing his life.
So
very nice hook stop. That will buy some time, but unfortunately your tank ability means nothing in the face of the Sumail team.
And then he popped Mask of Madness, so he couldn't stun. That was the problem. So there's no follow-up for the Silent Storm. And hold that thought, Centaur.
Hawk. Get him out of here. He does not have access to a stampede, so he dies. More intelligence being taken by GH. The TP attempt from 1J should be successful. But
just
they've been beating their heads onto this tower for so long.
Or maybe it would even be better, because you could precast it like a purge that a Oracle can do against Global Silence. Triangle?
Getting jumped in the triangle. Global Silence will be there to try and bail him out of trouble. He does still have Stone Gate available, but doesn't even need it just yet. Here comes the God Strength. The rest of the lineup is here, but the Earth Splitter onto both him and the Tiny, bringing them very, very low, but they still end up killing off TA2000 first. He does eventually die on Ghost, and Omar almost loses his life. Laranov forces to chase him into the river, able to find that kill. So far it's 2 for 1. Make that 3 for 1, because Sumail able to burst down Rain with the final laser of the fight. And Noob, the priority target, is still freaking alive here, Liz. And they need to be very careful, because the longer they take to kill him, the more time that Sumail has to return into the fray. He's in the fountain, healing up, and they know that they have to leave. There's no way to chase anymore.
Reverberating sounds.
TA2000 gonna get jumped right now. He doesn't have a BKB just yet either. Ghost goes on him with the God Strength. Do they have the damage? Yes. Sumail supplies it with the laser. And even if he wasn't there, they still had him in the Gorgon's grasp. He was dead to rights, and now the path to the tier 2 tower. I think they saw the Gorgon's grasp and the snake onto the creep wave, but they don't want him. They want the bigger target, and they find him. Ghost is being gone on right now. Will attempt the TP out, but he knows that his life is forfeit. So nothing he can do. Just has to watch this happen and tell the team, guys, just stay back. We finally actually have to give up this tier 1 tower. Rushing to find something here. Sven coming on the back lines, blinks forward. They get the global silence out, looking for some of these supports. So first one to fall is going to be the Grimstroke. 1J is gone. Rain still alive for now. Omar cannot find the correct angle. So looks like Rain and Dahak should be able to get back to safety. Maybe not Dahak, but very nice hoofstomp coming in from him. No, Ghost actually jumps the high ground to kill Rain. I don't know about this one, gang. Will end up
Defense
losing
matrix.
his first life here, or maybe not. He's still fighting. The laser from Sumail helping out at the mischance, but eventually they are able to bring down the spend. Life number 2 is on. He has a BKB at the ready. ET splitter connecting onto him, but there's not enough follow-up damage to hold him in a really deadly spot. No lockdown, so he's just gonna get himself up.
Yeah, that's a massive one as well. Now he doesn't have to be afraid of Storm, but GH maybe does.
Well, let's see what Storm can do here. There's going to be the Soulbind between the Silencer as well as the Storm. Storm Spirit trying to fight here. Global Silence will be out. They're trying to go in onto the Storm. Loranov gets saved by TA2000 with the Primal Roar, at least for now. Zips out to safety as he finished all his mana. Nice dive hawk from TA2000. That will protect them for now, but Omar says no. The toss back is still coming for you, my friend. Delivers him into the waiting hands of the rest of the lineup. Wait, maybe not. They actually an Observer Ward and a Watcher right in front of him, so they could still chase him. Ghost knows this. He's on the way. They really want to find this kill. He's running out of mana. This is very scary. He Manta dodges the Stormhammer, so now there's nothing left for Global if they go on top of him, but they don't even need it. This Observer Ward, man. Shout out to Omar. It's almost like you could see the future with how they conducted themselves in that game.
Lowest on list to buy the Nullifier. Hex.
Good lane. They get the jump onto Dahak. He's falling so low. There is going to be the Global Silence as well. They threw out the Primal Roar onto Ghost, so he can't kill off Dahak, but the second he comes out of it, he's laying in the damage. Dahak forced to go in with the Stampede, but sadly, Ghost has a Harpoon. Drags him right back in and kills him off. Loranov coming bottom, trying to at least punish Ghost a little bit. The Aegis expires in 5 seconds, though. They toss him back towards Ghost and Sumail. Loranov going to be forced to zip away. Now the Aegis will expire. The HP is coming back. Soulbind, double nullifier. At least it looked kind of cool coming out of 1J. Go for the bottom wrap, coming in through the mid lane. Omar, though, he's going to be the one that's seen first. They go on to Ghost. He doesn't have access to a global or to a Aegis at the moment, but there is still Global Silence to bail him out. There's going to be the Cardi putting the Beastmaster inside it to try to use these drums of Slum. There's a Primal Roar as well with the ET Splitter. They're doing all the damage they can, and Ghost eventually will fall. But sadly, they have nothing left in the tank for everybody else. Sumail just throwing in these lasers. He does get himself nullified, though. Caught in by the Dive Hawk. TA2000 trying to put in the damage, and Sumail will die.
Oh, the Throne!
But, oh no!
The Throne!
No!
The Throne!
They actually win a fight, but it doesn't matter. NIGMA Galaxy creeps win the game. GG, well played is called, and VIRTUS.PRO.
It wasn't as close as I expected. Enigma, they took a lead and they ran away with it. Sumail Tinker once again 5-1-8. This guy died like maybe 2 times in the whole series yesterday and today. So incredible performance by him. What I did like for VIRTUS.PRO is that they never gave up. Like,
How do you feel about Razor mid into the Kunkka and into the Ursa as well?
Yeah, that's one of the options, right? But they would definitely struggle until the Blink is purchased on Beastmaster. Even you have the DK into Kunkka, DK into Tiny into Kunkka. Like there's a slight edge for one hero or the other, but no one really loses there. They're mid. They know there are no TPs or supports. They might set up on Sumail.
Gonna try for it. X marks the spot is there. Sumail running away. Does have 6-1 charges. Will pop them, and they just lack the damage. Overall, the Torrents does come out eventually, but it misses. Now 1J. He is gonna be fine because there's no reveal for him. Rain, though, doesn't seem to be as lucky as Noob, putting in the right-click damage. Running out of mana, but unable to fully catch up. 1J now going back in on Sumail, but still lacks the damage. And with the Dive Hawk from Sumail, they bring down this Bounty Hunter. Now, Loranov is thinking about trying to go get this Haste Rune, but it might have put him in a precarious position. Rain using in some defense matrix, but it's only level 1, so not much protection is going to be afforded here. Loranov in trouble. There's going to come the boat, though. Crashing in onto the Phoenix and the Medusa. That will save his life for now. Enable them to kill off GH and Omar.
Ghost.
In the meantime, Dahak gets a kill gets killed by Ghost on the other side of the map. But all the action is here on mid, as Noob trying to run right now. Loranov has X marks, but cannot close the gap. They don't find the Medusa. But still, the big prize is defending Loranov.
Yeah, Sumail was about to lift his hands for that roar. 1J, still gonna get it. Yeah, still gonna get roared.
I got the bounty, I forced him to roll me, it's fine.
Yeah, he is called the Bounty Hunter, so his job is done. Top lane, the Hawk is really being pressured hard. Centaur, 24 CS, 7 minutes in.
While all that was happening, so he probably feels that it was all upside for Noob. There was pretty much no drawbacks for him making that maneuver.
Oh, GH.
Going on to GH. He does have the X. The boat is there, and they will be able to kill him. All right, that's something. That's definitely something.
Very well. Noob down bot.
Maybe the first rotation from Sumail going bottom. They're going. Noob is here. Does pop the... Oh, it doesn't have the mana for the Stone Gaze, but it won't matter. They're still going on to TA2000. The Raw was there, but they don't have enough follow-up to kill him just yet. And TA2000, now with the Enrage, will be able to get back to safety a little bit. Ice Shots blocks him in for a moment, but he's able to hop over with the Earth Shock. Ghost, having taken the Twin Gauge rotation, comes through. They find Rain with the Dragon Tail stun. The Tinker's falling very, very low and will eventually take a tumble. Bounty Hunter not going to be allowed to escape either. He gets revealed underneath his own tower and brought down. Good rotation from Ghost, will now leverage. Perhaps... Oh, no, he's going right back. I thought he was going to stick around with this Dragon Tail or Dragon form, but it's about to end anyway.
Yeah, Tinker falling like timber. You said it nicely. Dragon.
But Bounty should be able to see him eventually. It's daytime now. No, it was nighttime just as they passed him, so they didn't see him. We will see the Tusk. That does allow Ghost to go into the ultimate form. Coming back in, they find the stun out onto the Kunkka. The egg dropped behind them as well. Aisha is not allowing 1J to escape either.
Nice snowball.
Egg will pop right now, but the big chase is onto Lorinov. The snowball did dodge the stun. Unfortunately, though, it will still lead into a couple deaths here. Nice snowball onto Bounty. Nice chase onto Kunkka. Nice response from NIGMA Galaxy to this rotation.
Very nicely played. There is a Kunkka rotating, though.
Here, Centaur is also going to make his way over. X marks the spot onto Noob. 1J is here as well. The Stone Gaze will be triggered out, but Snowball, Stone Gaze goes through it. So there's going to be the Supernova being triggered out. Can they destroy this egg in time before it pops? Yes, they can. They've taken it away, and now all of a sudden Omar's going to lose his life as well. TA2000 on a double kill. Ghost getting dragged back in with the X marks. He's going to be sitting in front of some very ravenous heroes, and they are thirsting for some dragon's blood. They will take it. Triple kill for TA2000. Perhaps they have enough in the tank to take on Noob, but they can't find the angle for the X marks from Lorinov, so Noob will be allowed to live. They get just sliver of vision of Kunkka taking these Ancients, so maybe you jump Lorinov here, Sumail. Do they have the reach? Ice shots. Nice block onto Lorinov. Not going to be allowed to escape here. He will throw out the boat, though. Coco Rum will delay proceedings for as long as possible, and there's going to be the defense matrix as well. Bro, they maxed out the defensive stat. You are not lying. They simply cannot kill him. And now that they've brought in the Centaur, these heroes need to retreat. 1J though, my friend, you do not have all the defensive tools of these other heroes. He will end up dead. But now TA2000 goes forward, finds Sumail, gets immediate revenge for his boy. Noob going forward with the Stone Gaze. Unfortunately, Dark facing away from him. Now though, the Stone Gaze is over. Marching the Machines on the ground. They're going to drop the Meteor Hammer, but TA2000 moves away from it. The Hawk still losing HP, defense matrix, buying space and time. Finally, they get the kill. They did buy back on 1J to try and return this fight, but sadly, he's unable to massively contribute here. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 engagement with a buyback from VP. I think before the buyback it was okay, but now they get the Yules middle onto TA2000. They want to chase this Ursa Bear down. They can't catch him in time. Omar getting himself dragged back in by the X marks. There's a Torrent as well, and with TA2000 on top of him, it should have enough damage, but also they have enough damage to kill the bear. Lorinov now finding himself dive bombed by Sumail, who has respawned into the fight, able to find the kill onto Lorinov. Rain attempting his best to run away, will not be allowed to do so. Now 1J, he knows his life is forfeit. He does have access to the Shadow Walk, but they don't have vision. They don't have any dust anymore. They've used them all in the fight. So he's going to be the lone survivor here, but everybody else ends up tumbling. What a crazy fight. And VP, they get punished super hard here, Liz.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is free rush now as well. Maybe not the freest. Ursa is up in 10. I'm not sure that they can take it that quickly. Oh, by the way, used to get rid of track as well. That's another thing.
Two heroes caught inside. The Gleipnir coming in from Noob with the Ice Shots to follow this up. Now they want to go for Dahak. They find him first with the Snowball, but they also reach Rain with the Primal Roar. Where is the follow-up damage? Supernova now comes into the middle of the fight. They need to run from VIRTUS.PRO. The stun though, will it be there for TA2000? No. Does manage to get away just in time, but the Gleipnir will still follow this up. They're holding him in the air with the Walrus Punch, but unfortunately Omar dies first. Ghost wasn't able to really keep a beat on one of his targets. Now though, the unfortunate one will be the Bounty Hunter. He will end up going down. Ghost on a dominating streak.
Yeah.
Ghost still has another about 70 seconds to go on his Aegis. Losing a lot of HP though, but now quick Yules onto TA2000. as we forced you into expending the enrage. Goes on the high ground, and like we said, less than half a second. And now Sumail, though, in the meantime, was able to rip through the Tinker on the high ground. GH with the Supernova out as well, forcing back the rest of VIRTUS.PRO. They buy back on Rain. Noob dropping hammer onto these lane of racks. They've taken away the tier 3 tower. Age is still standing strong for another 50 seconds. Enigma Galaxy, yet again, looking solid on the retreat. Noob is the one that just uses up to avoid the X marks the spot. It will be a 2-hero torrent, but there's no way Lorinov is going to charge that far forward at this point.
They're so good at disengaging. Lorinov is trying his best to catch someone.
You get the catch on the Medusa with the X marks the spot. You get her back into the river though. Ice Paw for the Sunray is going to be there. Yules now onto TA2000. Doesn't have a BKB available. TA2000 is in some trouble here. He's going to be surrounded by Nigma heroes. Yules again into the air. GH doesn't have the egg but doesn't need it. The Sunburn and the additional slow ensures that they can kill off TA2000. Omar will find himself unable to TP home. Interrupted and killed off by Dahak, but unfortunately for Dahak, that's going to cost his life as well. Sumail now on a killing spree.
Yeah, just taking one side after another. I really have to commend Nigma. Like, they literally did not want to take any team fights. Ursa tipping into them. They have Stone Gaze and Hex though.
Okay. Ursa gets immediately used up into the air. Noob defensively responsible. Pops the Stone Gaze to make the retreat happen, but they're coming in on the other side. Sumail, he's been tracked up as well. Dahak was looking for the hoof stomp. Sadly, the BKB will protect Sumail, and now he turns back in with the primal roll, but he blinked into a torrent. Sumail is going to fall and die. Lorinov, him and TA2000 need to deal with this egg. Can they do so in time? GH will make sure that the egg pops, stuns 3 heroes. Now they go back in. Snowball on the 3 with the meteor hammer onto all of them as well. TA2000 about to die. 1J can do nothing on the back lines. And VIRTUS.PRO throw in the towel. GG, well played is called. Enigma Galaxy take a 2-0 win and give Ghost an ultra kill to round out game number 2.
But then you start and think, like, every single one of these heroes absolutely hates playing versus Yules. Every single one on the side of VIRTUS.PRO. You can't stampede, you can't X marks the spot, you can't track, you can't enrage, you can't defense matrix. Like, literally one item that solved them. VIRTUS.PRO greatest enemies. Top list, number 1 is Yule's Scepter. Like, you'd rather have something else though, no? Unless you can find like a perfect pick here into Lifestealer, like you get yourself a Slardar or something that just completely punishes the Lifestealer pick and then you can do whatever you want to. Wouldn't call for Marcy here. I wasn't even sure where it's going, like when they picked it. And now I see
Marcy.
It's a Sumail Marcy, yeah.
What?
I mean, they are 2 games up. Like, they can experiment a little bit.
Let's see how it all breaks out. Nigma, they smoke up, they head on the high ground. Oh, 2 heroes caught with the Storm Hammer. Sumail jumps forward as well, but unfortunately they jump into quite a bit of damage. He needs to get the hell out of here. Sumail almost died. Lightning Storm slowing these heroes down, but not able to catch up to Sumail. Omar will be the unlucky one. Will be sacrificed to the altar of VIRTUS.PRO, and that's a first blood. Not just any first blood, Liz. The kill goes to the Leshrac.
Like, I think Lotus is a really good item this game, and so is Vanguard, so... These are the items I'm waiting for.
How would you feel, given that there is a Sven bottom lane? Sven actually getting a kill, but might die to Dahak, and indeed he does. How would you feel about a Halberd on this Bristleback so that you have the disarm onto both the Sven and the Marcy throughout the game?
Misanthropy coming into play, this facet from Lesh. And Rubik now as well.
Jay, oh my goodness, they just couldn't find the vision, but they got him. Lift back, one more right click is all they need, and the kill will go onto Sumail. Can they get anything else out of this? In the meantime, they do end up trying to chase onto Lorinov. Omar cannot close the gap to have the Avalanche toss. He does not have boots, and Leshrac is extremely fast as a hero, so he should be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Top lane, putting some pressure in onto this Lifestealer. They know they wanted to force him to rage, and indeed they do. Direhawk will be there a little bit. They toss him back. He's actually in more danger than I thought. They have to rotate in 1J, but he arrives too late. He will end up taking a tumble here. Noob, will he be punished surrounded by these 2 supports? It does not seem like they're going to have the damage. Avalanche will cool down in 2 seconds, so they're going to turn back onto 1J potentially. There's the Avalanche. They don't have mana for the toss just yet. He does have a Lotus to eat. He does, but he dies before he could get off the toss. So 1J will live. Will eat an Arcane Curse. Doesn't get the last word connection though, so 1J lives. It's Omar that ends up dying.
Unfortunately, not get the kill in the end. He is rotating mid now, but there is a ward and it's just running out. They might go noob top.
See, they are indeed going to dive from underneath the tier 1 tower. 3 heroes around him. Open wounds is on, and Omar, as you mentioned, he went towards the mid lane, so not present to try and defend his offlaner. But now here comes Sumail making his first rotation as this Marcy. Not level 6 just yet, but still has enough in the tank to quickly bring down 1J. Punishing that move, so Sumail getting his first kill for the game.
Needs a little bit more time to work with to get that Radiance. They know that Sumail wants him mid, so they're rotating everyone in.
Sumail jumps back in onto the slash, but God, look at the damage! Holy base! Sumail really did not expect to die that quickly, and GH finding out he cannot render any assistance either. Little did they know that the Hawk would be there with the magic damage on the Leshrac. Much too much for this Marcy to deal with at this moment.
Doesn't want to give up. Instead he goes, but he knows the Hawk is here because of the Lotus.
Yeah, but he took the Lotus and ate it, so now it's a full HP Bristleback. Can you kill him 100-0 before reinforcements emerge?
I think you can.
We're gonna find out. They're gonna go for him, unleash, God Strength, 2 ultimates, results in a kill. But on the other side of the map, they're looking towards maybe killing off this Beastmaster. He just TP's out, roar into their faces, TP, bye-bye, they can't do anything. With the kind of start that he was having, anticipating at least, even if you don't like win the lane, by now you should have the tower pretty much dead, but the Tinker just says, no brother, it'll take a lot longer than you think. But Sumail wants to try and re-engage, misses the hit after the jump in with the rebound. Global Silence was expended as well, and now they find the roar onto Rain. Can they kill him? Infest will be there from the lifesteal, and now here comes Laranov out of nowhere. 2 heroes split earth with the lightning bursting everywhere. They've lost both of their cores. Rain does not care about losing his life if he gives his team such a massive advantage afterwards.
This is just... the snowballing has started for Lash at least. He's moving bottom now. Maybe he can get the kill off on GH or Tiny.
Tiny just TP'd in, very low, but Ghost is able to pop the God Strength and kill off the Hawk, who did go a little bit too far away from this Lash, and now they just toss Ghost forward. Look at the right-click damage. Laranov may be very easily able to deal the damage, but he's not able to take it.
Yeah, because you can infest heroes, right? Like, you should be able to infest them. But can you insta-kill them when you go out? Global, top lane, well...
They're gonna try and insta-kill him, though, with the Global Silence being thrown on top of his head.
Gotta be careful here.
They're gonna come back middle. Primal Roar being thrown out onto the Bristleback. Look at the damage that the Hawk is taking. Man, Ghost just blinked in front of him when he could not turn away. Whacks him in the head, and he ends up dying right then and there. No help incoming from VP. Now they can just go Roche immediately.
I'm not sure if you could help him. Like, he just went in. Sumail is invis.
Sumail is indeed invis. Omar is here as well. Global Silence will be out, and there they got him. Do they have the damage to kill him, though? Blade Mail gonna do quite a bit, but not enough to really dissuade them from finishing him off.
Top lane.
And once the BKB finishes, he does end up dying. In the meantime, on the other side, they started a fight. They're going onto the Global Silence. They managed to bring him down. You know, by the way, you're talking about like how Silencer can be replaced by the Global. Do you remember TI-22 in Singapore, where half the game was literally Silencer just chilling in the fountain, waiting to cast a spell? Now, he's going forward. There's going to be the stolen Global. They go in onto Noob. They're able to get the first kill onto the Beastmaster. Sven with the God Strength trying to do what he can, but he's losing too much HP. There was a very big avalanche, though. Omar opened up the space, and now they bring back Laranov into the hands of Ghost. They beat his ass down. The original Global Silence comes in right now to ensure that they can finish off this fight. The Hawk held in place by these avalanche. The rebound, the dispose, God Strength on the backline, goes, cleaves through the Tinker onto the Bristleback to earn himself a triple kill.
Top lane smoking up. They're hunting while they're pushing.
It's Marcy. Oh
Dude,
my god! That was one of the sickest things I've ever seen. Rebounding off of an illusion to cancel the TP of the Lifestealer, and now here comes Omar with the Avalanche toss. TA2000 just dead? Bro, Sumail God, the king is back. That was actually crazy. Unfortunately, not only do they not know that Marcy is not here, their initiation is really, really tough. It's only really Laranov that can do it. There's no Blink Dagger on this 1J Rubik, so nobody else can move forward and find a stun.
Well, maybe Laranov can do it. Like you said, he does have the Blink to work with.
Does indeed. There we go. Takes the stun forward, but unfortunately blinks into a Global Silence God Strength stun from Sven. Lorinov dies, so does the Lifestealer, who was the cargo within him. Another rebound that stands up onto 2 as 1J disappears. Rain and Dahak can do nothing but watch. They will finish off Rain. Dahak will attempt his TP out. At least he'll be allowed to leave. But everybody else, no such option available. And NIGMA don't even lose a single hero. They would love to get in through this mid lane. Dahak is going to do his utmost to defend this. With the Matrix being provisioned by Rain. It's not an easy kill to get. But nonetheless, here's the toss back. He's roared. Global Silence is out. Woo!
Where'd he go?
All right. There used to be a Bristle back there, but he's just gone. Does have buyback though. TA2000 was dragged back in by the Harpoon.
Are scanning.
He's about to reveal it as well as they're coming in. They smoke through the mid lane. They see TA2000. Oh no, this is pain and suffering. The worst possible target to lose first, and he's gone. No buyback available for TA2000 here. Your carry is dead to rights. And they can still come keeping for this fight. God's Strength is still available. Lorinov taking so much damage. He dies to the Unleashed God's Strength right click. Rain will follow him into the grave. And Dahak, although he's able to stand his ground, although he's not dying, it ultimately does not matter. GG, well played is called. NIGMA Galaxy have won the Grand Finals and have booked their ticket to DreamLeague Season 26.
His hero pool as well expanded. So kind of cool to see Medusa in game number 1 and 2, and now Beastmaster in game number 3. Everything looked very solid, very on point. A little bit of flair pick with Sumail's Marcy in the end, which is also nice to see, right? Like you watch 2 games of